Good evening and welcome to episode 8 of the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. I'm your host, Naomi, and I come to you from Leeds in West Yorkshire in the UK. I'm a bit later in the day than I normally record, so yes, as you can see from my glasses reflection, I have my ring light on. Not an awful lot I can do about that. Hopefully it's not too off-putting for you. So today it's that time of the year when you lose track of what day it is. It is Saturday, the 23rd of December. And we made it to the Christmas break. Can we just take a moment? And it's really nice. It has been quite an intense few weeks. I wanted to do a quick recording, but when I had the opportunity, I was just absolutely knackered. So I thought I'll do it now. I'm a bit more relaxed and got a bit of energy. As mentioned before, I had a assignment that was due in on the 17th of December, and that week building up to it was pretty grim. Kind of every evening when I come back from work, it was just eat tea and work till pretty much bedtime. But it's done, it's submitted, and I've got my life back for a few weeks until the next one starts. So where have we got up to? I do have a couple of finished objects. I've not quite finished all my gift knitting, but that's okay. Just see where I got up to. These are almost finished. These are some pink socks, and this is like a tealy. So this colour, pink, is called a frog's mouth from Peak District Yarns, and it's a bit more richer in real life. It's the light, I know. And some good old bog standard hot pink. So the recipient is my friend's daughter, who is 11, and she picked out some colours. She wanted the heel to be pink and the toes and cuffs in teal, and I've literally just got a couple of rows to do on the last one. I don't think I'm seeing her over the Christmas break, so I think we're away for a couple of days to see family from Christmas Day. Not long, just a few days, so they'll be done in time. And the pièce de la résistance, which is the Robinia sweater. Now, I pre-warned my sister-in-law not to watch this podcast until after Christmas. She wanted it to be a surprise. So here is your warning, Kirsty, no peeking. Isn't that lovely? I would try it on, but size 12 I am not. So here it is. There it's quite like not overly fitted, but it doesn't have as much positivity as the sleeves, and that's the design. So the sleeves are just really nice and cosy. We ended up going for the large size, just to make it a little bit more looser fitting. So it'd be interesting to see how it actually fits on. And I absolutely really enjoyed making this. I learnt a couple of new techniques. I learnt how to do German short rows. Never done those before, and I quite like them actually. And I also learnt how to do an Italian bind off, which is kind of similar to, it reminds me a bit of Kitchener stitch. It did take a little time, but it's a really nice finish. So basically you've got loads and loads of stitches, and then you kind of decrease quite rapidly towards the end. And I don't know if you can see, but there's not much stretch in the cuff. So when you put your arm in, it doesn't kind of slide all the way over. It just kind of sits there quite nicely. So if you're writing and using about, you're not like dipping your hand, and if you're, I don't know, washing up or whatever. But that's the theory anyway. So yeah, yarn use, it didn't use as much yardage as it said it was going to do. So I've actually got almost a full ball left of the white wool, which was an alpaca cotton blend, which kind of works out like about Aran weight, I think. It was on size 5mm needles. I've got 1 3/4 ball left of the Sirdar DK tweed, and about, I think I measured it, I think about 10 grams left of the Ducky Darlings, and it's the Surrey, I think it's Surrey, is it Surrey alpaca or mohair silk? I'll have to check and put it in the notes. So I'm sure I may have enough to do a hat, but I might do a matching hat for Kirsty for next Christmas or something. So I'm really, really excited for her to see it and to try it on. I did give it a block. I was a bit nervous, obviously with it having white in and having her hand dyed yarn. But a top tip, somebody, I was watching a podcast, I was watching the Grocery Girls, and they block the swatch, which I know I probably should have been doing this anyway, to check not only for gauge but to also check to see that the colours don't run. So I kept my swatch up there to use just in case I was running out of wool, because I don't really want to, usually when I swatch I'll swatch to get the gauge, but then I kind of feel like it's a bit of a waste of wool, so then I'll tink back, I'll like unravel it to use it when I'm doing the main knitting. That's just how I am. But this one I thought, oh, all that fuzz, I'm not gonna frog that. So I kept it and I thought I'll soak that first to see if the colours run or anything, and they didn't. I did use a couple of colour catcher sheets in just in case, and I just did pure cold water, not like a little bit of warm. So yeah, very happy with that. So now that I've shown you, I can wrap it up because I'll be seeing her on Christmas Day. I'm gonna ask her, see if she'll do like a little reel wearing it. If so, I'll put it on. But no pressure because I know that's fine. Right, so that's that one. The socks there that I've done. This last week I had an awful lot of travelling with work, which meant lots and lots of train knitting. But alas, some of the journeys I had to work all the way there. But there were times when the Wi-Fi wasn't working and it's like, oh no, I'll have to knit. What can you do? So there's those, we're going to finish those tonight. Then the only other pressing Christmas knit that I've got. Now, I am aware that Christmas is only 2 days away, but I'm seeing this person on the 27th. So that's like 4 days, right? And I do tend to be like a night owl, and I like to knit till like midnight. So, oh, it's like it matches with my jumper. So this is another pair of socks, and this is a lovely skein from Dusty Dimples, and it's called Love Yourself, and it's just got lovely little pops of blue, odd little orangey reds, and a little bit of burgundy, and it's just really, really nice. It's almost like a pinky coral, and I'm not normally a fan of coral. I'm a bit weird with coral, but no, I like how those go together. So this is just the first sock, so I'm gonna give those a bit of a stint tonight and see how we go with them. And if I get those done by New Year, which I believe I will, I calculated that that would have been 33 projects that I've completed in 2023. Is it 2023 or 2023? 2023. Yeah. So yeah, and I only did a count up the other day, or the other week, because we had a little bit of a Christmas meetup with a knitting group that I've been going to since the summer, and a few of them in the group that I've known for years and years, kind of thing. And at this Christmas kind of little catch up, which was really nice actually, we did these little awards, and a lady very kindly put together like a bit of a questionnaire of how many projects you'd done and what was your oldest stash use, you know, just a bit of tongue-in-cheek fun kind of thing. And I won an award for the most projects knitted in the year, which was really and I got presented with a really cute little coaster, so that was really nice, so thank you for that. I'm a bit sad that in the olden days, pre-COVID, you'd have your designated desk area, and you could bring your little knickknacks in and put it on your desk, and like a little photo of your family and stuff like that. But it's all like hot desking now, so you can't really personalise it with stuff, so I might just bring it in anyway. I tend to be at the same desk that I have, so we shall see. Anyway, I'm rambling again. So that's going to be there. I do have some other projects, because I do have more of a list of things which are going to be taking me through to about the spring, but they're not as time sensitive, so I'm going to do some me knitting. And look, this is the one I am going to cast on for me. I love it. I wound it up a month or so ago, because for me, when you want to do a quick cast on, if you cast something off and you want to cast it back on again, you want something quick and ready. And I thought sometimes you're like, oh, I've got to wind this skein up and that's going to take me half an hour, and then so I had I can't remember when it was. I think Brandon went out for the day, or he had a trip somewhere, and I used his, because he's got a desk in his room, and it's the only desk in the whole house that my Swift and winder can clip onto. So I asked his permission, can I use your room when you're not here? I know it's my house, but it's his space. Yeah. And he said, yeah, that's fine. So I wound like about 10 skeins of what are we going to be using in the coming months, and this was one of them. This is Attic Spin Dye, and I can't remember the name of the colourway, but it works up as a micro stripe of like hot pink and black. Really nice. So I'm going to cast that on for myself. I'm just going to have a little slurp of tea. I say tea. Ceylon cinnamon. It came through in a little gift, so thank you. And I am starting to feel a lot more crispy today than I have done all week. So another one that's another ready to go is I picked up this one, which is a new colourway from West Yorkshire Spinners. Like from the, I call it the bird range, I thought that's the right thing, and it's called Starling. And it's really nice. It's like almost like a midnight blue with speckles of beige and white and bits of teal and that as well. Just noticed the ring light's gone off because my laptop it's plugged into has gone to sleep, so that'll come on again in a second. And these are going to be for my brother, who is hugely knit-worthy. I might have mentioned in the previous podcast or two that he had a pair of socks that had lasted like 7... Oh gosh, blimey, that is bright. That's a bit better. Oh, and his socks had lasted about 8 years. So I'm gonna do a new pair. He's something ridiculous, like a size 13 though. Yeah. That's some going for a knitter. I tend to do like a fish lips kiss heel. I do toe up, fish lips kiss heel, and then just a normal 2x2 rib. And he said there was this particular pair of socks that had lasted him for ages. And then all the other socks that I'd done for him, he said that they were shrinking in the wash. So I said, right, okay, I'm gonna have a look at it. And I actually did a gusset heel flap style heel on that pair. So I'm gonna go back to that pair, and I'm also going to do, and I did a knit one purl one, or knit through the back of the loop purl one rib. So I'm just going to see if I can recreate this pair of socks that'll last him 8 years. So there we go. So that's what I'm going to do. Another thing that I picked up the other day, which has been in hibernation for ages, through the holiday period, or through January in particular, I'm gonna have a blanket month. I'm gonna knit on my blankets. Yes, plural. This is one. Now, somebody pointed out, oh my goodness, you're using a 3mm hook and it's 4-ply. And yeah, it will take for it. Now, I don't really want to undo all that work. And I don't know whether to just accept that it will just be a labour of love, and I'll just keep adding bits and pieces. So whenever I come across any odds and ends, I'll just put some bits and pieces in here, and then, because sometimes you don't know, do you, what's going to go next to what, until whatever you're in the mood for. So I picked that up the other day just to remind myself that I do still know how to crochet. So there we go. So I'm going to give that a little bit of attention. And my I've also got a scrappy sock yarn blanket for me. So we've got a Super King bed, which is gigantic, because don't know if I mentioned it before, I am over 6 foot, so I've got a really big bed. And I've done, it's like a mitered square blanket, but I've done quadruple the size of the squares. So each one of my squares would have been 4 little ones altogether, and they take about 17 grams. And I think at the last count I did that I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and it takes about 2 or 3 evenings to do 1 square. So I bet you if I gave it a real good push in January, I'd be, you know, another chunk through. I'd love to get it finished for next winter, because I think I started it, I looked on Ravelry the other day, and I did cast it on in February 2013. Yeah. Well, there we go. Acquisitions. What have I got for acquisitions? Let's have a little look. I've been enjoying an advent calendar from Ducky Darlings. Thank you, Hayley. And I think it's what's been keeping my sanity together this last month, because I've not been posting on Instagram, you know, all the different mini skeins that I've got, because as I say, I think I'll probably be driving you bananas. And there's even some days, how bad's this? There's even some days, and I thought I've not had a chance to open it for like 3 or 4 days, because I'm up quite early in the morning, and I'm one of those that I'm up, quick, out, gone, and then like I get to work and I'll be like, oh no, and then I get home and it'd just be, so that was kind of what it had been like. I have been taking a photo every so often to kind of get the order of things, and she also did a really nice card with all the colourway names. I've got a pattern in mind of what I want to do with this. It's called the Anthology Shawl by Curious Handmade, and it's a massive like round shawl that you'd almost call it like a bit of a blanket wrap. Now this is going to be all jumbled up in different ones here, but just to give you an idea, it is all different colours, and it is themed of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Got a beautiful purple there. I've got a grey and a green, and it just really, I really love them. It just, as I say, just kept me going. Some lovely, oh God, throwing them away. So that was really nice. Thank you so much, Hayley. You have no idea how much that has just given me that little lift that I've needed. So I've got 2 left. So it's a 4-ply, 20 gram a day. I've got 2 left. So I opened those up. And yeah, I think because they were nice, and I didn't know if they were going to be like a gradient or what. And I quite like that they were kind of different, so that I can just use them in the order of the days, and do, you know, with how the pattern is as well. So that was my little treat that I give, and I like these. The thing I like about advent calendars is that you don't pay for them at Christmas when you're skint. They kind of come through in like the springtime, so, and then you can either pay in instalments or whatever. I don't think I'm going to be doing another advent calendar for this next year at least. Or not a hand-dyed one anyway, because we are saving up and being good, so that's my little treat. And I had some very happy mail from my lovely friend in America, Julie. We've been friends on Instagram for many years, and we check in all the time, and I sent her a little surprise in the post, which she got. I think I did like a little mini competition to see how much yardage I'd be left with on a jumper or something, if she was the closest kind of thing. And we have a little WhatsApp chats and everything like that, which is really, really nice actually. And she says, I've got a little something to put in the post for you. I said, oh, you know, as you do. And it arrived, and it was just absolutely perfect colour for me, and I absolutely love it. It's from Spin Cycle Yarns, and it's just all lovely purples. It's a bit darker in real life. I know I've got the... Can I turn this off for a minute? That's more of the natural colour, which is really nice. And that's going to go super bright again. Drop it down. So this is a sport weight, and I don't actually think I've got anything in sport weight. Well, the colourway is called Overshadow. So I'm going to have a look at some patterns. I might do either a hat or like a little cowl or something, or some mitts. I don't know actually. I'll have to have a look. And I think these are the ones that you knit it, and it kind of like, you know, like how a Zauber ball kind of works up and is all kind of like, it kind of reminds me of like hand spun yarns, you know, when you kind of ply it and different colours kind of come in. So no, thank you so much. That was really, really nice of you. Yeah. So I'm going to keep that in my little in tray to remind myself to make stuff for me as well. I know. So I think that's all my knitting talk at the moment. And yes, I had a big hair chop since I last recorded. Just fancied a bit of a change. I might be going shorter again, but I need to grow these little front bits out first. Not that you needed to know that. Budgeting, what have I been up to? I did set myself a goal for this Christmas, which was to buy the necessary presents and everything that we buy for without using my credit card, and I am chuffed to bits to say that I succeeded with my goal, which I'm really, really happy about. Because yeah, I'm a big believer in not going into debt for Christmas, and we shouldn't have to go into debt to give the people that we love a present. Do you know what I mean? I would be mortified if somebody was going into debt to buy me something. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, oh God, no, just, you know, come round for a cup of tea and a natter, and, you know, that's more of a gift than I need, you know. So yeah, so being quite a bit more frugal this Christmas. Today I've been doing some experimenting with baking. So I say baking in the loosest term. Mary Berry I am not. But there's been a couple of slow cooker things I've been wanting to try. I saw a recipe for making fudge in the slow cooker, so I did that this morning. I used white chocolate and dark chocolate and some cookies, so I've put that in the fridge today, and it says to leave it overnight, so we'll see if it sets. So there's that. And I am a little bit dubious of this next experiment. I shall have to report back of roast potatoes in the slow cooker. Because I don't know, to me it feels like it wouldn't get hot enough for them to be crispy, but apparently they are. So tomorrow, Christmas Eve, I'm hosting my brothers over for like a bit of a Christmas dinner. And when you're cooking for other people, especially like Christmas dinner or a big roast dinner, there's never enough room in the cupboard. So I thought, if I'm able to do the potatoes separately and they don't need monitoring or whatever, then that's good. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else have I done. I think, to be honest with you, just my whole mindset the last few months has really changed, whereas and that can make a huge difference, especially the first half of the year. I would literally be getting 2-3 costas from the station. If I'd miss a train at the station, I'd have 20 minutes to wait. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll just go get that. And I'm thinking, you'd be home in an hour, you can get a drink then. You know what I mean? Or you'd go out and buy lunch from the sandwich shop, but then you'd break into that money and you'd end up getting something else. So I've got more into the routine of making sandwiches, bringing in my own fruit and snacks and everything, which I know sounds really basic, but it does kind of add up. What else have I done? Sold some bits and pieces on Vinted, and whenever I need like clothing, or if my son needs clothing, I tend to go to Vinted for a little look around to see if there's anything that he would like, because a lot of them are like nearly new anyway. I've not bought any new decorations for Christmas this year, because I think I've got them what I need. Although the tree, we've had this tree for several years and it is looking a little bit threadbare, so I don't know what I'm going to do next year. I might have a look, might have a see. But yeah. My Top Cashback app, I don't know if anybody uses Top Cashback. As you said, that it's all very, very small amounts of money that kind of build up over the course of the year. And I'm trying not to go, oh, it's got to £10, I'll draw that £10 out. I'm trying to keep it in for that proper rainy day, like in January, February or whatever. So that's really quite nice. And to remember, if I'm doing anything online, to see if that merchant is listed on Top Cashback. So yeah. So yeah, I think that is me. I promised myself that I would have plenty of relaxation time this holiday. As I say, I've not had a break since August because of the course and everything. And so I've been jotting down some Netflix series and films that I think, oh, that might be nice for binge watching. Starting through The Crown, quite enjoying that. There's been one, and I have a bit of a variety. There's one called, what's it called? Something to do with space on Netflix. I think it's like a Korean series, which apparently has got some alright reviews, so I thought I might have a look at that. I watched Ghost for the first time in my life last night. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I know it's an older film, but it was really good. And I don't know how I got to 43 years of age and I've never watched Ghost. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, I think I shall leave you all there, and to say I wish you all a Merry Christmas. I hope you have a lovely time with your loved ones. If Christmas isn't your bag and you find it a really difficult time to get through, then I hope you manage to find something alternative that gives you some joy, even if it means you're shutting the world away of your own accord, and just fill your day with things that make you happy. Then yeah, lots of love to you as well. And keep happy, keep healthy, keep knitting, and watch those pennies, and they will watch you. See you soon, guys. Bye.